Sometimes, the greatest discoveries, the ones that truly reshape our understanding of the past, show up where you least expect them. They emerge from the shadows of history, often in the most unassuming of places. This story begins not in Egypt, the land of pharaohs and pyramids, but in 19th century Europe, amidst the burgeoning cities and intellectual fervor of the Victorian era. Mihail Baric, a Croatian official with a penchant for collecting antiquities, bought a sarcophagus containing a female mummy, a relic of a civilization long past. He acquired this mysterious artifact while traveling in the bustling port city of Alexandria. He brought it back to Vienna, the heart of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, as a curiosity, a conversation piece, never realizing the profound historical significance of what he truly possessed. He had no idea of the secrets it held. For years, the mummy sat undisturbed in his study, surrounded by other collected treasures, a silent guest from a distant land, a forgotten queen awaiting rediscovery. Baric, intrigued by the artifact, displayed the linen wrappings separately, showcasing them as individual pieces, thinking the strange markings adorning them were simply decorative Egyptian hieroglyphs, common symbols from that ancient culture. He never guessed their true significance, the secrets they guarded, or the language they spoke. After Baric's death, his collection was left without an owner. His brother, recognizing the collection's potential value, donated the entire assemblage, mummy, sarcophagus, and linen strips, everything intact, to the State Institute in Zagreb, a place of learning and preservation. The mummy and wrappings were carefully catalogued and placed into storage, awaiting further study, considered just another Egyptian artifact among many others in the growing collection. The linen strips, however, covered in that mysterious, unreadable writing, were largely ignored, relegated to the dusty corners of the museum's archives. Decades passed, the world changed, and the secret of the linen wrappings remained hidden, locked away in the silence of the past. Then, in 1891, a glimmer of hope emerged. The renowned Egyptologist Heinrich Brugsch, a scholar of considerable reputation, visited the museum in Zagreb. While touring the collection, his keen eye noticed the seemingly insignificant linen strips. With his expertise, he quickly realized the script wasn't Egyptian at all, defying all expectations. The forms of the letters looked vaguely Greek, hinting at a possible connection to the classical world, but the underlying language itself remained stubbornly unknown, a complete enigma. Suddenly, the Zagreb mummy, once a forgotten artifact, was thrust into the spotlight, becoming the central piece of a captivating historical mystery. Those unassuming linen strips were about to rewrite history, challenging established narratives and opening new avenues of inquiry. What had seemed like a simple souvenir, a memento from a distant land, was actually a key, a Rosetta Stone, to unlocking the secrets of a lost civilization. The silent mummy residing in Zagreb was about to start talking, revealing a story that had been buried for millennia. Sometimes, the most extraordinary discoveries, the ones that redefine our understanding of the past, are hiding in plain sight, overlooked and underestimated until the right eyes come along. The story of the Zagreb mummy was just beginning, its secrets poised to be unveiled. And it would irrevocably change what we thought we knew about the ancient world, challenging our assumptions and expanding our historical horizons. In a quiet museum storeroom where history sleeps and secrets linger, Brugsch leaned in, heart pounding, a sense of anticipation washing over him. He knew he was on the verge of something extraordinary. The script on the linen strips was not Egyptian. It was something altogether different, something unexpected. It was an alphabet, meticulously written in vibrant red and stark black ink, a striking contrast against the aged linen. Scholars across Europe were soon consulted, their expertise sought in unraveling this linguistic enigma. Photographs of the script circulated among linguists, sparking fervent debate and intense scrutiny, all confirming this was not Egyptian, defying all initial expectations and assumptions. Not Greek or Latin, the cornerstones of classical scholarship. The linen wrappings became one of archaeology's greatest puzzles, a tantalizing mystery wrapped in ancient cloth. When laid out, the strips formed a single, continuous narrative, 11-foot-long sheet, a testament to the dedication of its creators. Organized into 12 neat columns, a structured layout hinting at the importance of its contents, it contained over 2,000 words, a treasure trove of linguistic data, by far the longest text of its kind ever discovered, a truly remarkable find. Before this, only a few short Etruscan inscriptions were known, mere fragments of a lost language. This was an entire book, a complete manuscript, offering unprecedented insight. Preserved by chance in an Egyptian tomb, a twist of fate that defied explanation. What did it say? What secrets did it hold? Was it a prayer, a spell, a sacred incantation meant to guide the deceased? A diary, or a historical record, chronicling the events of a forgotten era? The words were visible, clear and distinct to the naked eye, but their meaning was locked away, hidden behind a linguistic barrier that seemed impenetrable. The linen strips were a silent messenger from a lost world, carrying echoes of a civilization long gone. They had crossed centuries and continents, defying time and distance, waiting for someone to break their code, to unlock the secrets they guarded so fiercely. The challenge was clear: to decipher the undecipherable, unlock the secrets of the Zagreb mummies' wrappings, and reveal the story they had to tell. The world's top minds were on the case, each eager to contribute to this monumental task. The whispers on the linen were about to be heard, their secrets poised to be revealed. The race to decipher the text had begun, a quest for knowledge that would rewrite history. The initial attempts to decipher the Etruscan language proved incredibly challenging, with many scholars hitting dead ends. But the breakthrough finally came from Jacob Kroll, a scholar of rare languages, possessing a unique expertise that would prove invaluable. In 1892, he embarked on a meticulous comparative analysis, carefully examining the script and comparing it to a vast collection of ancient alphabets from across the Mediterranean world. And then, a crucial match emerged: Etruscan. It was the language of a mysterious people from ancient Italy, a civilization that flourished in the Italian peninsula, long before Rome's rise to power and dominance. The discovery of the longest Etruscan text ever found, carefully wrapped around an Egyptian mummy, was an unprecedented and truly remarkable find. The Etruscans primarily inhabited the region of Tuscany, in Italy, a considerable distance from Egypt. So, how did their sacred book end up as a burial shroud in distant Thebes? This unexpected discovery raised even more perplexing questions than it provided answers. Adding to the complexity, Etruscan is classified as a linguistic isolate, meaning it's unrelated to Latin, Greek, or virtually any other known language family on Earth. Scholars possessed the ability to pronounce the Etruscan words, carefully sounding them out, but they were completely unable to decipher their meaning or understand their context. Imagine the frustration of reading a book aloud, poring over each word, but not having the slightest clue as to what any of it actually means. That was precisely the daunting challenge: a readable, yet utterly indecipherable, code. The Zagreb text held the potential to be a treasure trove of information, offering invaluable insights into a long-lost culture. But without the aid of a dictionary or a bilingual text, its secrets remained stubbornly hidden from view. The real and painstaking work of decipherment was only just beginning. The world's longest-known Etruscan text was now in their hands, a tangible piece of history. But its true meaning, its cultural significance, was still frustratingly out of reach. The linguistic paradox presented by the Etruscan language had never been so starkly clear. The Zagreb mummy's wrappings represented a complex puzzle, a mystery that had endured for ages. And so, the determined search for answers, for understanding, was officially on. This seemingly impossible language was patiently waiting to be cracked, its secrets yearning to be revealed. Who were the Etruscans? They flourished in ancient Italy from the 8th to the 1st century BCE. Masters of art, engineering and trade, they built thriving cities and influenced early Rome. The Romans learned much from them: architecture, rituals, even some gods. Yet, the Etruscans remained shrouded in mystery. Rome eventually conquered and absorbed them, erasing much of their culture. Most of what we know comes from their tombs, filled with art, jewelry, and everyday objects. Their tombs reveal a lively, prosperous people who valued music, food, and sport. But tombs can't tell us their history, philosophy, or stories. Their language is the biggest mystery. Without their writings, we only see them from the outside. The Etruscan language is the final frontier in understanding this lost civilization. It holds the key to their identity and beliefs. And the longest example of that language was found, against all odds, wrapped around a mummy in Zagreb. The Etruscans' own words were finally within reach. For decades, the Zagreb linen's Etruscan text was a mystery. Scholars chipped away word by word, using what little Etruscan was known. Then, a breakthrough, patterns and repeated phrases revealed it was a ritual calendar. The Linen Book of Zagreb laid out a schedule of religious ceremonies. Each section detailed rites for specific days, naming gods, locations, and offerings. This was a priest's guide to keeping the community in harmony with the divine. The calendar gave us Etruscan months, festival dates, and the names of their gods. Offerings of wine and grain were central to their worship. The text even included instructions for prayers and incantations. For the first time, we glimpsed the structure of Etruscan religious life. The calendar revealed a faith deeply woven into daily existence. The Etruscans believed rituals kept the universe in balance. They was their guide to fate and the afterlife. Preserved by chance, it offered a window into a lost world. Even if we can't read every word, the rhythm of Etruscan spiritual life is clear. The calendar's survival is a miracle of history, and it all began with a mummy in Zagreb. While scholars puzzled over the linen, another question lingered. Who was the mummy? Inscriptions on her sarcophagus revealed her name, Nessie Khonsu, wife of Pahir Khonsu, a divine tailor in Thebes. She lived during the Ptolemaic period, around the 3rd or 2nd century BCE. Her family, likely of moderate wealth, prepared her for the afterlife with mummification. High-quality linen was expensive, so old cloth was often reused for wrappings. In this case, a discarded Etruscan book became her burial shroud. The sacred calendar of a distant people became the final resting place for Nessie Khonsu. Two worlds, joined by chance, preserved each other's legacy. Reading thee is still a monumental challenge. The linen is fragile, the ink faded, and much of the text is damaged or missing. Scholars rely on high-resolution images and digital scans to reconstruct the original layout. The language itself is the biggest obstacle. Etruscan is an orphan, with only a few hundred known words. Linguists use internal analysis, searching for patterns and repeated words to guess their meaning. Every small breakthrough, like identifying the word for wine or god, is a victory. Modern technology, multispectral imaging and computer analysis, has revealed new details, but the work is slow, and the code remains stubbornly resistant. The faded ink guards its secrets well. Deciphering the will take many more years. The quest to unlock its meaning continues. How did an Etruscan book end up in Egypt? One theory, an Etruscan merchant or mercenary brought it to Egypt, where it was later sold as linen. Another, the book was traded as high-quality cloth, valued for its material, not its writing. The ancient world recycled everything. Valuable linen would never be wasted. A third theory, a small Etruscan community in Egypt brought their sacred texts with them. As they assimilated, their books lost meaning and were sold or discarded. However it happened, the linen's journey is a testament to the interconnectedness of the ancient world. The book traveled over 1,000 miles, crossing cultures and centuries. Its survival is a story of chance, trade, and migration. The linen's long journey is as remarkable as the text itself. The Zagreb mummy changes how we see the ancient Mediterranean. The proves that people, goods, and ideas traveled vast distances. An Etruscan book became an Egyptian burial shroud, two cultures, one artifact. The Mediterranean was a highway, not a barrier. Trade, migration, and cultural exchange shaped the ancient world. The linen's journey highlights the resilience of Etruscan identity. Their beliefs traveled with them, even far from home. The story of Nessie Khonsu and her wrappings is one of accidental preservation. Two afterlife traditions converged to save a priceless text. The dry tomb preserved both mummy and manuscript for 2,000 years. It's a chain of events that reshaped our understanding of history. The Zagreb mummy is a symbol of lost connections rediscovered. Today, Nessie Khonsu and her linen book rest in Zagreb's archaeological museum. The remains largely undeciphered. A ritual calendar whose full meaning eludes us. The Etruscan code is still unbroken, its secrets locked in faded ink. How the book reached Egypt is still debated, and new theories continue to emerge. The is our only surviving Etruscan book. Could there be more, hidden in other mummies or ancient wrappings? Archaeologists now search for lost texts in mummy cartonnage, hoping for another breakthrough. The Zagreb mummy stands as a symbol of all we have yet to discover. History is full of surprises. A single artifact can change everything. The story of Nessie Khonsu is about the thrill of the unknown and the quest for knowledge. The Etruscan code still waits to be broken. Its secrets are out there, waiting for the next discovery. The expedition is far from over.